Hey there, this is Andrea with ADS, here to bring you the very best in marketing and branding tips, as well as business tips for those of you who are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and personal branders. Welcome and thanks so much for being here as always. And today is a special episode. I want you to watch this all the way through, especially if you were like me a month ago and was on that bandwagon that was like, TikTok is for babies. It has nothing to do with business. It's going to become irrelevant to business as Snapchat is, unless you're in those markets for teenagers and college kids and younger. And so I totally was in that camp. And if that is you, I want you to watch this episode. This is all about, number one, why to be on TikTok if you're a personal brander and or a business. And number two, the top 11 things you need to know before you get started. These are the things I wish I knew right now. And currently I've been on the platform just shy of a month. I am at maybe 850-ish followers, and so I'm pretty certain, I hope by the time I come back to you next week, I would have definitely hit that 1,000+ mark, which is not like, wow, amazing, because there's definitely people who knew what they were doing before they got on the platform and they have killed it. And I was like, whatever, I'm just here, whatever. And so there are some critical things you need to know if you want to be successful on this platform that I have figured out since then. And so I'm going to pass this on to you. But again, first we're going to start with why, and then we're going to go through our 11 tips. All right, ready? Let's go. So this is the why. Why should you be on TikTok? So again, I told you, I was in that band camp of, I was like, nah, I'm not doing TikTok. No, all these people who are trying to, no, this is not for me. It's not for my business. It's not for my clients. I wanted to go away. Again, that was me. So let me tell you the two factors that changed my opinion and got me to try this platform. Gary Vee, which many of you may know of, Gary Vaynerchuk, and Michael Stelzner of Social Media Marketing World were the two main influencers who made me think you must be on this platform. Gary Vee has been saying it, but he's an early adopter. I'm not an early adopter. So I've been hearing him, but I'm like, yeah, Gary, it's not my time yet. Michael Stelzner at Social Media Marketing World 2020, just before COVID hit, literally moments before COVID hit in San Diego, we were there for a conference and he impressed upon us the importance of TikTok and why all of us as marketers and social media marketers need to be about this platform. And so let me share with you two factoids that Michael shared at that conference that made me say, fine, Michael, you got me. I'm going to do this and I'm going to make it a priority. These two things convinced me so much. So one was that the parent company, ByteDance, a Chinese company, was valued at $75 billion last fall. $75 billion. It is not going anywhere. This is not some cutesy startup that got lucky and, it might crash and break and the systems fall down and all this sometime. No. This was originally Musical.ly. Many of you may remember Musical.ly, which is super popular with the kids back then. And then it became TikTok later. So it has staying power, and for good reason, which I'll share later, because it's a very fun platform. I thought I was going to hate it. I thought I was going to be looking at a bunch of kids all day, and I will address that also because there's an issue with that too. It actually, you can find your age categories, and there are tons of moms, dads, business people, business owners, all kinds of personal brander type celebrities, of course, are on there. The big brands are on there, but there is a great range of people and types of people on this platform, and you can find your people. So I'm going to talk to you about that too in some later videos if you are interested in TikTok. I hope by the end of this video you are interested. So that was one thing, that ByteDance, as the parent company, has staying power. It's not going anywhere. The other factoid was that 49% of the users on TikTok are age 35 and older. That's my camp. I just turned 39, just had my birthday last month. That's my camp. I was like, what? 39 and, well, 35 and over. I'm 39. So truth be told, I was like, wait a minute. And I have said this on this platform on YouTube before and on our podcast, that there is no way. I have to see this for myself. I got to see it for myself. So those are the two things that intrigued me enough, convinced me enough that this was worth investing in and figuring out. So that is exactly what I've done. And again, we're almost at the 1 month mark of being on the platform. I have learned so much since being on there. And now we're going to dive into these 11 tips that you must know if you endeavor to take on this platform. And I do encourage you to try it. I do highly encourage you to do so. And this is how you can be successful on the platform. The top 11 things to know. There's many more, but this is the first thing. If you're a newbie and if you're just getting started or you haven't really taken the platform seriously, you've been on there, this is for you, okay? Top 11 tips. Number 1 is your username. So when you first get on the platform, TikTok will give you a random username. It'll say user 956784332 blah, blah, blah. The bunch of numbers. And that is a telltale sign that you are a newbie on the platform, and B, nobody knows your name. They don't know what to call you. It means you're probably not invested much in the platform. And so people are not going to care to get to know you. Even if you ever post a video on the platform, people are going to be like, they're not even going to look at it. They're not even going to look at you because they're going to be like, I don't think that person is either real or they obviously don't care enough about themselves to give themselves a name. So give yourself a username. When you log into the platform and you sign up, very easy to do, and you've successfully created a profile, then you want to edit your profile. So go to your profile page, click edit, and that's where you can change your username. Make it something succinct, simple, memorable. If you already have a name that you use across platforms, that works great. I'm using my personal platform name, which is Miss ADSO8. I use that across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those places. So I wanted that same consistent name for TikTok. So that's why I chose that name. If you do not have consistency, I highly suggest that you make those handles consistent as possible, because that just helps with people finding you everywhere else. So number 1, your username, very important. Number 2, your bio area. So there's a bio area. It's not huge. You don't get a lot of space, much like many other social media platforms out there, but definitely take advantage of it. This is a small space where somebody can get to know something about you, so you can put your interests. I put currently like 4 or 5 interest areas, like marketing, branding, exploring, blah, blah, blah. You can put interest areas there. You could put your location, because lots of people want to know, where are you? Not like we can see each other right now physically, but you may put Atlanta. I thought about editing mine to say a location. Some people are lucky enough to have a link in their bio, just like you can for Instagram and Twitter and other platforms like that. I do not have that capability for some reason. I think that maybe that's a new thing that's rolling out, to maybe upper tier users first, like Instagram does for people, so hopefully by the time you get on the platform, there will be an opportunity to place a link in your bio. Definitely take advantage of that. Use your website, use whatever it is. If you have nothing else but Instagram or something else to point people to, do it, because people want a way to connect with you. If they like you, they're going to want a way to connect with you in the real world outside of TikTok. So there are opportunities. Now I do have this on my profile to connect your profile to your Instagram and your YouTube. So there's 2 links that you can connect to in it, and you'll see that on your profile. But this area that I'm talking about is an additional link for any kind of link in your bio section. So if you have that capability, take advantage of that. But definitely put something in your bio. Don't leave it blank, okay? Number 3 is your picture. So do not leave your profile empty in terms of a picture. It's very important. Very important. I do not follow people back if they do not have a picture in their profile. Sorry, I don't. If your username is user 956745235, whatever, and you don't have an image in your profile, it means you're new, or either you've been here a long time and you don't care. So definitely add a picture. Critical. Because again, people who have great pictures, you can tell that they, that it's professional or it's cool, or it's very well lit, it looks fun. I'm more likely to follow you if your representative little profile avatar is cool. So definitely put some thought into your picture, because that's a representative image of you on the platform, okay? Number 4, this point is something I really wish I knew before I started on the platform. I got on the platform again, I was like, I'm just here because I was shamed into it and I have to be here, but I really don't feel like it. I was not expecting much from the platform for myself. So my first 5 videos were random whatevers. It was just to try it out, just to post something, because I don't believe in having empty profiles on any platform. So I was going to post something. And so I did like a blase intro video, like, this is who I am. This is my business. I'm just here to try this platform out. If you can keep me, great. If not, oh well. Literally that was my attitude on the platform. Do not do like me. Learn from my mistakes. And as someone asked me, or they were talking to me earlier about, maybe last week or so, I have a couple of friends who are on this platform with me. So we're all learning together, which is so great. I mean, seriously, I think I'm going to create a Facebook group just for those of us who are friends in the same circles, who are business owners or personal branders, trying to figure out the TikTok platform, because there's so much to discuss here. Definitely be on the lookout for that. I'll let you know if I do that. Me and this friend, we were talking about our first 5 videos, and I was talking about how important they were. And she was like, oh yeah, well, you can always delete them. And I didn't get to have the chance to say this back to her. It was a lot typing, but at some point I will share with her, hopefully she'll see this, that what I've learned by listening to those who know and who've been on the platform forever. I've been listening to podcasts and YouTube videos, of course, because I want to know now, like, what does it take to succeed here? What I've learned is that everyone says your first 5 videos are so critical for establishing what's called your authority on TikTok. So your first 5 things kind of gives TikTok a flavor of what you bring to the platform in terms of your value. And value is very loose here. It means like, are you funny, or are you pretty, or are you, fashionable or savvy, or, political, whatever you are. It kind of gets a flavor for what your style is. And then that gives you an authority factor. If your first 5 videos were amazing and they popped off, because that's the beautiful thing about TikTok, you don't have to have an audience to take off at all. I just literally last night ran across a TikToker who, he might have like 2,000 or so followers right now, but he's only been on the platform. Like, he really only has like 4 posts and he has 2,000 followers. Like, I'm just getting to 1,000 and I've been on it for a month. And it's because his very first post, he has kids who do TikTok and all this. So he's got that advantage, which is nice. And he's in Atlanta, which is cool. So he's on the other side of Atlanta, which is pretty awesome. And his first video got like over 100,000 views because it was some fun thing. There's this thing about, basically disrobing in front of your spouse and getting their reaction to it on camera. So mostly it's a female thing, like the women do it to the men, and it is always like the same typical reaction, like, oh my gosh, I have to put my video game down. Okay, first of all, I would never date anybody who plays video games like that, but this is a different age, the younger people get, the more they're into gaming, so it's whatever. I'm trying not to judge, but most of these videos go like this, where, the lady, the wife, whatever, the girlfriend, she's naked, you can't see her, but she might tease the camera and throw some clothes on the ground, in front of the camera. So you might see that. And then she walks through the house, and then the guy sees her and he's gaming with his buddies. And then he's like, I gotta go. They always the same reaction like that. And so it's funny that he took his own little twist on it and flipped the switch with his wife. Her reaction was hilarious. So she was like, what are you doing? She was working and she was like, go away or whatever. She was just giggling hilariously because it was funny to her. And so he got 100,000 views off of that on his first video with no followers. So that is what's so amazing. If you know what you're doing on the platform, your videos can skyrocket, and that is golden. That is golden. You should be taking advantage of this right now before all the rules change on this platform. But this is a great time to get in the door because, oh my gosh, there are people who have millions of, if you have golden content that just strikes the right chord with the right audiences, you can have 1 million views off of your first thing and skyrocket your way to 1 million something followers very quickly. So I am setting the expectations well for myself. There's a range of people with a range of followership on Instagram, on TikTok, just like there is on Instagram. You know, there's people with barely any followers at all. And then there's people with millions, and there's people with 100K or so followers, people with several thousand, tens of thousands, you know, so there's a nice range of people presented on the platform. What's so interesting is that if you look at these people, and because I'm curious and I'm nosy and I have to find out, like, what is the secret sauce? Were they popular somewhere else and then they got on the platform and, you know, that popularity carried onto this platform and people followed them, or what happened? So what I've noticed, especially being new to the platform in the first few weeks, or first week really, is that I would go and look at someone's profile. They may have like tens of thousands of followers and they're just an ordinary person, like just as ordinary as you and I. And I'm like, dang, they did great. And so I go look at their Instagram expecting to have, you know, them to have a humongous, robust Instagram audience, way bigger than what they've got on TikTok. I'll go and look and see when their first video was on TikTok. And so this is a very common story where there are newbie people who get on TikTok. They've barely been on the platform, but a week, a month since the new year. And their Instagram, some of them have zero Instagram presence. They're like, there's hardly anyone, like, and I mean like barely 100 people or so following them on Instagram. They're just, that's not their platform. And they got on TikTok and took off. This is the power that Gary Vee and others were telling us about. You can absolutely kill it. It's just an entirely different platform. And the reason why it's so engaging, and honestly, it can be quite addictive. Be careful. Just be prepared if you choose to jump down this rabbit hole. It is a rabbit hole and will take up your time. So, and that's just because it's that good. The content is that good. And the algorithm is great. So it learns you, it starts serving you up the content that you really love, interact with, engage with. So you can for real be on there for hours. I'm not even going to tell you about how long I've been up till 3 a.m. Some nights just like constantly looking. And so all this content, if you didn't know, is between like 15 seconds to a minute long. Or it could be shorter. It could be like, I'm not sure the exact shortest, but it could be like 8 seconds or something like that. It's so fast. And you would think, like, what can you do in 8 seconds or 15 seconds to make someone like fall in love with you on the platform? And you will be surprised. You will look at all other content completely differently. I certainly do. There's so much that can be done in 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. A minute is the max. So I was doing very long form content just because, you know, here on YouTube, I'm very used to very long form content, and you don't have to be that long to do this. All right, so I'm getting very distracted here. The point is that your first 5 videos do matter. They matter. And so you're going to want to take some time, learn the platform a bit. Do not be like me and rush to, this is opposite of what I would normally do on most platforms, because I want to be quick to fill in some content so I'm not just sitting there empty with no content. But it is worth the time. Take some time, take a week if you want, and just play on the platform in terms of consuming the content. Don't go creating just yet. Be on the platform, observe, and you can actually save videos. There's like a little share button on each video. You know, it looks like that little, like a little share button. And if you click that, you can click add to favorites, and you can access your favorites on your profile. It's like a little bookmark thing on your profile. Save those videos as like your favorites for video TikTok ideas for yourself. So if you come across content where you're like, I could do that. I think I could do that. I want to try that. It looks fun. I want to do it. Let me put this on my list of things to try. That's what I use my favorite sections for, is I favorite the videos that I'm like, that's awesome. I'm going to try that later. That's a cool idea for me. I think I can do it. Because honestly, a lot of people look at TikTok and they're like, it's just a bunch of young kids dancing, you know, renegade and all this. Don't ask me. I have not done the renegade dance yet. I have a friend, Natalie Gregg, she's like, I can't dance. TikTok is not just about dancing. It is not. It's funny, it's comedy, it's skits. It's also tips. There's plenty of businesses that are on TikTok, of which I will go through those on another video. But just note, I mean, there is the range of businesses you can guess, the medical professionals, the people who are giving medical advice and tips, especially now during COVID. You know, they're taking us behind the scenes through their hospital things. It's not all fun and games and all this. Some of it is heartstring pulling. Some of it is real reality. It's a strong way to get a message out to an audience, a very strong way to get a very real message out using TikTok. So just know, you got a business, you got a personal brand, it means you've got a message to get out there, and TikTok is a viable way to do that. Okay, so just for now, take my word for it. In another video, we'll go through the kinds of businesses that are on there. We do not have the time of day to do that today. Okay, number 5, turn your comments on. Do not turn your comments off on your videos. So when you do start putting out content, do not be one of those people that does not allow comments on your videos. And I know why people do that. I think it's because they feel like either A, they're producing very controversial content and they're afraid of what people might say, which I understand that. But largely, 90% of you are not creating controversial content. You're just not going to do that. And so I need you to think about making sure people can comment on your videos. That is a golden way to engage your audience. When you do get views, when you do start having people comment on your videos, of which it may take some time, you know, for you to get there, or you may do the smart thing and learn all this stuff before you begin. And then you'll have comments right away. A member of Kappa Alpha Psi, who I was talking to behind the scenes, I don't think he had any videos up yet. Or if he did, they were like 2 old videos or something, maybe. No, I don't think he had any videos up yet. And I was like, you need to get videos up. And he finally did put one up, and it immediately got 2,000 views out of nowhere. My first video did not get 2,000 views. I didn't know what I was doing. But his did, and then he had all these comments. I was like, go like and comment on all those people, every single one of them. If there were 19 people who commented on your thing, every single one of those comments should be liked, and you should comment on every single one of them. Why? Because it shows that you cared. You're a little TikToker. You are trying to grow. So it shows that you cared. It shows that you noticed. You're thanking them for taking the time to watch your video and all that. So it's very, very critical, very, very important to do those things. And again, you want to make sure that your comments are on, not off. Give people the opportunity to comment. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid of your comments, okay? It is a good thing. It is what you want. Just kind of stay away from controversial content unless that's your thing. And then if it is your thing, then you should expect that anyway. So you're fine with it if it is your thing. Next, you want to make your profile and your videos public. Be certain that your profile is not private and your videos are not private. Again, this is just like Instagram, where people make their profiles private and their content private. Like, you're totally defeating the purpose of the power of the platform. Like, why are you even on there if you're making everything private? You know what I mean? So it's very important, critical that your stuff is public. Unless you're just there to be a voyeur and just enjoy consuming content, fine. But those of you who are watching this, you're not watching this because you plan to be a voyeur. You're watching this because you plan to use it as a growth opportunity for your own business. So if that's you, then you need to make sure that your profile is public and your videos are public so that it can be found. Very important. There is a thing on TikTok called the For You page. So if you see the initials or the acronym FYP in comments, people hashtag it. Do not do that. So far, I have learned that most experts on this say do not hashtag FYP or hashtag For You page, because that doesn't necessarily help you get on the For You page. But the For You page is like the Explore page on Instagram. It's where people can find fresh new content that people are loving out there. And so honestly, I spend 90% of my time on the For You page. There's a For You page, and then there's like a followers thing where all the people you're following, you can see all their content. But honestly, like 90% of the time I stay on the For You page because it's much more interesting. Most of the time it's much more interesting. So we could talk about this all day. I'm going to get through these tips for you. So Next, this is kind of a next level thing, but if you have done all the things of, you put up your first 5 videos, they're very smart. We'll talk about hashtag game in a minute. You've got a profile, you've got a bio, all those things are together. Then the very next thing you want to do is this. You want to make your profile a pro account. Why? Because this is how you're going to get your analytics, which is very, very important, very critical. Do this from the beginning, because otherwise it takes like a whole week. It's a very painful 7 days to convert your account to a pro account. So you're going to want to do that ASAP. Do it right away. Do it when you first start. And this is how you're going to see the analytics on your videos, the analytics on your entire profile, the demographics on who's coming to your account and watching and all of that. So important. Just turn on your analytics. And you can do that by going to your profile, going in your settings, and then switching to a pro account. Okay? Pro tip. Number 8 is to respond to comments. I said this before, it's worth saying again, respond to your comments. Show love back to the people who took time to show some love to you. It will go a long way, and it will especially go a long way for them coming back and responding to other videos that you've got on your profile. So respond to all commenters. Number 9 is lighting. So I have seen a lot of content out there where people are just clearly, do not let this be you. This will not be you because you're watching this and you're smart. But there's plenty of people who are just in the dark, like doing a TikTok video in the dark in their bed. They're clearly lying down late at night and they just decided to turn the camera on in the dark and record themselves bopping their head to some music. No, that is not what we do, okay? You need lighting on your face. Even if it's nothing but natural light coming through the window, that is way better than being in the dark or being in a dimly lit space. People need to see your face clearly. Very, very important, very critical. So I don't care if it's a lampshade, if it's natural light, whatever it is, if you don't have a beauty ring light and you don't normally do videos and that kind of thing, it's okay. Again, use what you've got, but definitely have lighting on your face, not behind you, on your face, okay? Very, very important. Lighting is critical. Number 10 is your hashtag game. So the hashtag game, my brothers and sisters, we could spend a lot of time talking about hashtags on TikTok. However, just know that that is a critical thing. Your hashtags and the actual music or sound that you use, whether it's a song, an actual song, or an audio like someone else's voice and something else that you decided to use for your own video, the sound you use and the hashtags you use are the critical important factors for getting found on TikTok. Critical important. I have a friend right now who is trying to, grow her own TikTok base. She just got on the platform herself. And I was telling her, your hashtag game is going to be so critical because her content is good. She's got good, solid content. She's got the lighting. She's, packaged herself well. She's funny. She's trying, and her content has good potential, but her hashtag game isn't there. And, also the thing they say about sounds is to look at trending sounds, popular songs, and that kind of thing. So there's a world of stuff to be learned. But if you go with trending music, trending challenges, there's hashtags for challenges out there. You can actually see the hashtags that are popular when you're posting a video onto TikTok, and you click a little button called hashtags when you're like typing your tiny little caption area. There's a tiny little caption area for your videos. You can I think it's like 150 characters max for your hashtags and caption combined. So it's not a lot like Instagram, we can have 30 captions. That's not the game here on TikTok. You're talking 4 or 5 key hashtags that you can use. So you got to make every one of them count. And your caption, if you choose to put words that aren't hashtags in there, then all of that has to count to be searchable, findable, and for you to show up on the For You page so other people can find you. Critical. And also the sounds that you use are critical. So going with trending stuff helps. It doesn't mean that you have to in order for your content to be good. but it is helpful, and everyone talks about going with trending hashtags or trending sounds. My last tip for you newbies out there is to have an experimental spirit. Have fun with this. Don't make it stressful for yourself. This is meant to be fun at first, okay? And it's the total number one reason why I did not put my business name on my account yet. I'm not putting my business out there on TikTok just yet. I might at some point, but right now I'm using my personal handle because I wanted to be able to learn this for myself first, and for it to not necessarily directly affect my business brand. So even though I have my business Instagram and my business YouTube linked to my personal account, it's just a side benefit. I wanted it linked to it. You just need to have an experimental spirit and allow yourself to have fun. TikTok is a fun space. It's an expressive space. There are artists on here, and I don't just mean music artists, of course, but also painters. There are people who love to do DIY crafts. There are, of course, your fitness people, but it is not like Instagram, whereas Instagram, you'll have plenty of those model types who are just beyond gorgeous, and they have like a 10.5 body, a scale of 1 to 10, and plenty of money, and they make everybody else feel like crap. Like that kind of content does not work on TikTok. So again, be experimental, have fun, take some time to absorb, take in the platform, because the more that you can do that, the more you can start to understand the types of content that's going to work for you and your own profile. Okay? And those are my 11 tips. Your why to get on TikTok, and also the 11 tips for the newbies, the top 11 things I wanted you to know before you got on this platform. I hope this is helpful for you. If you want to check out my own TikTok page, it's Miss ADS08, MISSADS, like ads, like advertising, 08. Miss ADS08 is how you can find my TikTok experiment for myself. It is quite fun. It is for those of us, all of us who are on quarantine mode right now, it is a fun space to be in, a fun world. It passes time when you have downtime. I'm quarantining alone, no significant other with me or that kind of thing. And so I have plenty of work to do, but in my downtime when I want to break, I do take walks and that kind of thing. But otherwise, when I'm not cooking or cleaning or working or walking, it's TikTok right now. It's far more interesting than Instagram. It's far more interesting than Facebook. It's far more interesting than Twitter to me right now. Like TikTok is taking over all my interest in my downtime. And so I'm just sharing that with you because that's going to be you if you decide to get on the platform. I promise you, you're going to like it so much. And that is validated by so many other people in my age range, 30s, 40s, 50s. There are 60, 70, and 80-year-olds and beyond on the platform. It is amazing. So it has completely changed my views on that. Quick side note, I did have a big problem with children on the platform when I first got on, because when I first joined the thing, I saw plenty of very young children, like my nieces and nephews' age, on there. No one's checking them. No parent is checking them. They're just up there freely with their little phone, doing whatever they want to do. And some of it is mostly harmless. They're just dancing and having fun. But this is a predator world, and I could not stand seeing that. Honestly, I just couldn't. And so if you have little children, please check them. Please check and make sure that they're doing, if they have TikTok. I'm not a parent, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I probably wouldn't let my kids be on TikTok. My sister doesn't let our niece and nephews be on TikTok. However, I did let my niece be a part of some of my TikTok things to cheer her up because she's feeling down. So, and she loved it. It just cheered her. She just cheered her right up. It was so fun. And honestly, it was very fun to do with her. So if you have kids, do it with your kids, not the other way around where they're unchecked. And not to scare you, but I saw a little girl, literally her name, I can't say her name. Let me not say her name, username, but it was a very poor choice of a username. Very young girl, probably 8 years old, couldn't be more than middle school. So preteen maybe at the most. And she was openly on text on her TikTok, sharing her phone number. like telling people, y'all better call me. Last time nobody called me. I gave you my number. I'm going to give it to you again. And you call me because I'm bored. No, little girl. Like, okay, I'm done now. I'm done. I will be here talking to you all day with TikTok stories. But just if you have kids, be careful. Be careful. Do not let them be unsupervised going on to TikTok. Let them have fun with you. And we'll talk about this another day. But, you know, there's also this thing about if you do have kids in your TikTok videos, they probably won't show up on the For You page, with some exceptions, because TikTok has been cracking down, which I'm glad to hear. TikTok as a platform is stepping up and taking some responsibility about children's data, and they're not showing up, you know, children only videos on the For You page and all that. But yeah, that first week I had a bunch of kids following me and I was like, it felt weird. So just know that, I'm just putting that out there as a disclaimer. Just don't follow the kids back, ignore it, make great content, use hashtags with your age range, like over 30 club, you know, 40s, whatever. You'll start to see those hashtags for people that you find on the platform and you're like, oh, those are the hashtags I should be looking for. And you can like those hashtags and all that. So that will start to show up in what content gets served up to you. So the more you're on the platform, the more TikTok learns you, and then the kinds of content you want to see will start showing up. That's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I'm Andrea with the ADS Agency. You can follow us at the ADS Agency, THEADS, like ads, like advertising, agency. The ADS Agency on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Not on TikTok yet, but TikTok, you can follow me at Miss ADS08, MISSADS08. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for being here. Please give this video a like and also subscribe. The button is below, so you can do that there. And if you're listening to this on podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us a rating and a review, please. I love reading your reviews and your comments. Thank you so much to all of you who've done that. And also, please leave your comments below. There's so much to discuss. I cannot discuss it all in one day. I probably was far too ambitious with these 11 ththings to talk about today. That's it for today. I will see you next time. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. Be safe, be smart, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.